think from this generation though has the most potential to be the next Cardi or like the
Yeet.
next like mainstream. Other than Yee, Yee's kind of mainstream now. Like Yee has good sales and shit. But like, who you think like not the next
Um,
Cardi, but like the next big artist? I would say Jace. Hot take.
no,
Hot take.
no. I would say
What?
Destroy Lonely.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Completely fair.
That's like an easy W right there. But
Who else
also, I want to say Hard Rock. Once
Okay,
Hard
Hard
Rock
Rock's
actually starts to roll out, because I feel like he hasn't really released that much official music. He still might be independent, to be honest.
I think he is. Like, I think he is. Yeah.
Let me check. I'm going on his latest release, Slatty Don. Yeah, he's independent. So yeah, when he actually gets everything situated, I think he'll be chilling. Although I think he's still in an experimental phase, because some of it's like super grungy music, and then some of it's like pop, not pop, but like 80s kind of.
Yeah, I've been listening to his stuff.
Yeah, he's cool.
I made like a list of like 10 like unsigned rappers. I remember doing that for the label shit, and he was definitely on there. Him and Lunchbox. I feel
The
like
thing-
Lunchbox also has like, they even said that, I don't want to leak any information, but they said that like Lunchbox has the most potential from like the label's perspective.
I mean, Lunchbox has hype right now. I personally just think it sounds like Yeet.
Oh, I completely agree. I don't even like him that much.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a hater though. But the
I
thing
think there's
is,
like,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go on. All right. So I think there's like, he is like, he's playing it safe almost. Like he's differentiating himself like Lunchbox, but he's not like being like too different. And I think that's where he benefits. That's what they said. Like, because he's like playing it safe, like labels will be willing to take a chance. I think that could blow him up for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like the Cochise Cardi thing.
Yeah,
Or like to be a
exactly.
clone of somebody and then you slowly branch out. It's like it's already a proven sound that you know will get streams. Yeah, no, I get that. Or like Dom Corleo kind of doing the lone thing.
Yeah, and Dom also has like songs with his own style.
Yeah, but
He's like being similar but differentiating.
what I was going to say about Hard Rock and Lunchbox though is once you get into that realm of people who already have clout and then labels are trying to sign them, like it's almost not that it's not profitable, because it depends on like how much you push them and how effective you are at it. But so for Hard Rock, if he has all the leverage, so he could ask like, yo, I want 3 mil, I want 4 mil, 5 mil, because
Yeah, Dom's also unsigned. Dom's also independent, and they said he's like asking for a fuck ton of money, and that's why he's not signed yet. Because he knows he has like
right,
all the leverage in that transaction.
and every label is trying to sign him. So, and then like it's just like a job offer. If you're at a job and you're like making say 100K, and then another job is scoping you out on LinkedIn, they offer you 120. You're gonna go back to your job and be like, yo, they just offered me 120. What are you gonna give me?
Yep.
And then so that's why like low-key these labels, it's an L unless you really pick them up before 5,000 followers or even
fuck
less.
You fuck with dev stacks?
I have listened to a couple songs. I wouldn't say I'm I'm not too into it yet, but I'm not saying that I couldn't be persuaded.
I really like dev stacks, and also he like produces. I think he has a ton of potential.
But even with DevStacks, he's probably already talking to labels too. Anybody who like has a name already in the underground, the labels already knew about.
It feels like 2017 or like 2016 all over again, where they're taking chances with so many of these small artists.
But that's what happened in 2021 with like Tana, Cash Dami,
Yeah,
all those
those
kids.
A lot of those didn't pan out.
Well, right. So
I wonder how this generation is gonna turn out, because like Uzi, Cardi, Kodak, all of them, like they blew up, and now we have like this new wave. Like, you think they got it? Because like I mean,
I
like
like
Yeet was
hard
like the
rock.
only person who
I think
went
hard rock
mainstream.
will be good. I like Don Corleo. I think I like his sound a lot. I just think for the mainstream or like other people
Dom.
to mess with him, yeah, with Dom, like he might need to go like a more original route later on if he wants to continue getting like, you know, having a fan base. But I feel like Lone kind of moved on from that sound anyway, so it is Dom's sound now. But what Academics was saying, because he almost had a label, he was about to sign SSG Kobe.
Yeah.
That like they tell you to sign like 10 artists, and it's like they only care if you get 1 out of 10, you're good. Like
Are we talking about major labels or like
they just go out and sign anybody, but like they don't give that much money to people who have like less than 5,000 followers. Like we hear about these 30 million deals and whatnot, but that's for trippies. But like people who get signed there are a ton of artists that get signed before anybody knows them. That's what the A&R's job is, to find people who are unknown to get a good deal.
Somebody with like a little bit of motion. That's how they described it. Somebody with motion, but who's unknown.
And if you pour a little gasoline on that fire, then it'll go.
I think like they might not give a lot of money like in the advance, but they definitely invest a lot of money into the artist for like studio time, like transportation, all of that. So
for sure, you have to.
Yeah, and that's why you don't see like every like fucking label, like all the smaller ones at least, like they're like only a select few labels. It's almost like a oligopoly or whatever.
Well, because they have the bankroll.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's kind of fucked up, like thinking about it, because you don't want like just a couple people in power. That never works out. That's why you get all these like narratives and shit, and you get like people blackballed, like Tory Lanez.
Right, but that's what happens. Like even when a label does pop off, like say YSL or whatever, then that'll get bought out by one of the bigger labels. Yeah, there's like really just 2 main labels. There is Universal and Warner. And then every single other one is underneath them. But then the thing is, like Interscope, I don't know who they're signed to respectively between those two, but like they're competing for artists even within the own like encompassing label, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think there's also like joint labels too. Like people signed to like, so like I think the biggest indie labels are like what? Empire, and then 300 or 10K, sorry. So 10K and Empire, and like 10K is obviously like, you talked about this before, like the founder is like the son of Universal CEO.
Yeah.
So who knows, like independent. But at the same time, like you have Empire, who I think is actually independent, and like a lot of rappers sign like joint deals, and like who knows how that works. Like these smaller labels like don't have like all the money, so they might like take part of it, and then like the bigger labels do the promo, something like that, or like publishing deals, shit like that.
Right. I mean, technically, SoFago is independent if we're going down that route.
That's true.
But that's where it gets hazy, because like so say let's run through an exercise. Say there's an artist who is at 2,000 followers on Instagram. Like they're not really anybody yet. They're fire though.
Yeah.
And Empire signs them and like gives them the resources to blow up, or like, you know, they push them through that, because Empire can basically run like a regular record label. They just don't have as large of an infrastructure behind them. Would you consider that artist independent?
I think if it's just a publishing deal, then no. I mean, then yes, like it's independent if it's just a publishing deal. I think that'd be fair, because like they're still like paying for their own music and all that. It's just being pushed out by Empire, like for marketing at the final stage. But if they're like fully signed,
an industry plant, Like if Empire gives them, say, because Empire can give, I'm pretty sure Empire gave X like 3 mil or even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
Something crazy.
is X independent? I mean, I wouldn't consider that. Like, that's why when 10K
No,
was
that would
saying
not
they're an
be.
independent label, I'm like, they're not independent.
So what would
'Cause-
you consider an independent label then? Like,
I think just if you're independent, if you hire in-house, like you hire, somebody, or you like somebody send in a resume, like you hire people within your company, like Chance the Rapper, to be your management, and then somebody else handles publishing, because you can do that independently. It's a little bit harder because, again, these companies have the infrastructure where they just plug and play. But
shout out, very good music group. It's like an indie label I fuck with.
yeah,
Have to
so
plug 'em.
but like 10K, they have every single resource that the Universal has. Like, so why are they independent?
Yeah, why are they not a major label? That's true. I don't.
Right.
I
They
think
got
there's
30
like an
mil to give to
asterisk.
Trippy Red. Like, what?
Yeah, there's
Where are you
an
getting that
asterisk
30
next to
mil,
it, for
bro?
sure.
That don't make sense.
Venture capitalists that they're stealing money from, and daddy's bank account.
I don't know if you want to be saying that,
I mean,
but
is
hey,
it wrong?
I'm not hating because that's my goal.
Yeah,
But
no.
I'm just saying you got to label it correctly. Like, I'm not gonna say the sky is red.
But I do think it's part of their image, like, oh, we're an indie label. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just how they portray themselves.
Right. I mean, it's an independent label, just meaning that they're not underneath Warner and Universal like a lot of these others.
What are the big ones? Like Warner, it's Warner, Universal, and then like Sony, right?
Right. That's actually, you're right. There's 3 majors.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like there's levels to it again. Like there's indie labels and then there's like indie labels, like real indie labels. And
Right.
I think Empire, 10K, they're both like
There's
They're
independent
a little
labels
too big.
there's independent labels that like still utilize the resources of majors, but then there are like true independent labels.
this is like a stupid comparison, but it's kind of like Sprint and T-Mobile back in the day, like Sprint is on T-Mobile's network, but it's still like a different company. It's like smaller, and that's like utilizing the infrastructure and shit like that.
I
All my
don't
tech
know
people out
anything
there.
about that.
Yeah, Mint Mobile just got bought out by T-Mobile, but you didn't know that.
Mint Mobile is the finance app, correct?
Mint Mobile is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he made like $1 billion or 1.6.
Yeah, and they got bought out by T-Mobile.
What
And
a
it's kind of like
G.
that. Like